WandaVision heads into its finale as episode 8 reveals even more backstory on Wanda's tragic life, the hours leading up to the Westview incident, as well as a look at Agatha Harkness's violent origins and search for a great power that has forever eluded her. I really liked how much like episode 3 and 4, this episode sought to explain much of what we have seen in the show and pretty much confirmed that it was indeed Agatha all along, at least for most of it. Agatha's backstory was a fantastic introduction to the character, and yet again, Catherine Hand just makes a total meal out of the scenes she's in. Her motivation being something as petty as being a little jealous of someone like Wanda, who as far as Agatha knows is some type of rookie witch, yet could still do all of this in Westview like it was nothing. With that sort of framing device, the show takes on a kind of this is your life setting, where we get some great looks at Wanda's painful past, key moments in her life that kind of defined who she is, beginning with her family life in war-torn Sokovia, where we get to see where her love for old American sitcoms comes from, as well as the Stark bomb that kept her and Pietro from ever leaving their home, something that was referenced in Age of Ultron, as well as something which Agatha thinks was the kickoff of her powers. Wanda's time with Hydra and Loki's scepter is also explored, and it pretty much confirms that the Infinity Stone inside the scepter activated some already latent power within the woman, and as we find out, it's chaos magic, and she is what Agatha calls a Scarlet Witch, a seemingly mythical being that Agatha has been trying to gain the powers of for a very long time. The episode isn't all about Agatha and Wanda's trip down memory lane, as there are some really fantastic moments between Vision and Wanda as we see how their relationship grew between all of the movies. Again, Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen show all of their acting range, none more so in a especially touching scene at the Avengers compound where Vision delivers probably one of the best lines in the MCU, "Grief is just love persevering." All of the trauma culminates in Wanda letting it all out, and we learn that she is, of her own volition, responsible for Westview, but it wasn't born out of any malice intent. It was literally her grief coming out, and it came out in a way that bent reality around her. There are many more reveals this episode had, especially ones that came in an after credit scene, which I won't spoil here, but I'm sure people have already spoiled for many people already. But they have some pretty big comic pulls, and I'm very excited for the final episode if these things are to pay off in that episode, as well as in Doctor Strange and other multiversal things within the MCU later on. WandaVision episode 8 was yet another fantastic installment in the sad and trauma-filled life of Wanda Maximoff, further expanding on key moments from the past MCU movies and adding in some new layers of character development for these heroes and villains. Given how unpredictable the show can be overall, I really don't know where it's going to go in the final episode, but I am eagerly awaiting it. I'm going to give this episode a 10 out of 10.